You might be wondering, what exactly is a mask? Well, the dictionary defines mask as a covering for all or part of the face worn as a disguise or to amuse or terrify other people. But there's also another definition, a manner or expression that hides one's true character or feelings, a pretense. And the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask covers both of these definitions perfectly. There's also another definition here. The enlarged lower lip of a dragonfly larva which can be extended to seize prey. Wait, really? Let's see here. Alright. Dragonfly and damselfly larvae have mouth parts with a long lower lip, labium. Thought it was called a mask. It says it looks like a mask, but it's not. Called one. Alright, well anyway, if you don't know what a mask is, you're a fucking idiot. I'm not wasting any more time on this. Let's just jump right into the video. I'm going to be ranking all 24 collectible masks in The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Number 24, Circus Leader's Mask. This is the only mask in the game that individually has no functional benefit. There are a couple of Easter eggs you can use it for, like showing it to the Gorman brothers to get a different reaction. You can also wear it during the minigame when they're trying to chase you down and destroy the milk cartons. Doing so will completely pacify them so you can win the minigame by doing nothing, Luigi style. This might sound broken, but there is one problem. You can't actually get this mask until after you've beaten the minigame, making it completely pointless. Plus, the minigame is easy anyway, you just spam arrows repeatedly until you win. Aesthetically, the mask is just a guy crying, so there's really no reason to wear this garbage at all. Number 23, Mask of Sense. With the ability to drastically heighten your sense of smell, this is the last mask you'd ever want to wear at a GameStop, and it doesn't fare much better in this game. You can use this mask to sniff out purple mushrooms, which can be exchanged for blue potions. While technically more useful than the Circus Leader's mask, there's never actually a need for blue potions in this game. On a first playthrough, you can use this beneath the well to unlock a route that grants you most of the other items you'll need to progress, but this route is optional. If you already know which items you'll need, you can gather most of them before you enter. Long story short, this is another mask that I personally never use, but it does at least have some utility. At number 22, we've got Don Garrow's mask. The ultimate reward for this mask is a heart piece, the same as many others on this list, but getting it involves completing the most insufferable side quest in the game. Winter has come for Snowhead, so a handful of frogs have scattered throughout the world. You'll need to backtrack to a number of different areas to track them down, including dungeons where you'll likely need to refight certain bosses. It's a massive time investment for only a single heart piece and the ability to conduct a choir that lasts about 3 seconds. That was like 5 notes. Did they even need a conductor for that? Anyway, it's basically a waste of time. Number 21, Garo's Mask. In many ways, this mask is worse than useless, it's a liability. While the mysterious one-eyed specter informs you that you'll need this mask to survive an Ikana, the only thing it does is summon a bunch of ninjas who may as well be telemarketers. They harass you every chance they get before blowing themselves up and giving you a typically pointless hint. They might be helpful for a beginner, I guess, but on repeat playthroughs it's just a nuisance. The reason it's higher on the list than the others is just because you do actually need to use it to get into Ikana, otherwise the Po police won't let you through. You can also use it to de-aggro some of the undead monsters, but other masks can be used for this as well, so I really just wear this once and never again for the rest of the playthrough. Number 20, Kafei's Mask. This is a mask made of some kid's face, given to you by his mother to search for him. You just talk to the right NPCs to further the quest line. It's not really interesting beyond that, but this quest does net you a bunch of different rewards, so it ends up being quite useful. Number 19, Couple's Mask. This is the final reward of the Anju and Kafei side quest, a mask representing the love between a man and a woman. Aside from Nintendo pushing their hetero agenda on all of us, it's a lock and key mask where you just show it to the right person to get a reward and then it's done. In this case, it's used to teach the mayor how to do his job at the most basic level. 2 days of relentless fighting and he learns to mediate this by saying, yeah, you guys can both just do what you want, I don't care. The mask is alright. Number 18, Romani's Mask. This is the final reward of another standout side quest and it allows you to enter the milk bar after hours. This is needed for some of the quests and you can also use it to buy milk and Chateau Romani at the bar. It's basically an ID. It's pretty useful. Sitting at number 17, we've got the Postman's Hat, which lets you check the mail. It's not much of a superpower, but it is an easy heart piece. Plus, it's a reward for encouraging an overworked public servant to quit his job, so bonus points for that. Not much else to say. Number 16, the Mask of Truth. This mask lets you read gossip stones, which might be helpful for hints on a first playthrough. More importantly, you can use it to read the minds of animals, which lets you cheat at dog race gambling. By picking up the contestants, you'll be able to read their thoughts, which gives you some insight into their chances of winning, as well as their culture. It turns out dogs are also able to get married. And soon to be divorced. While the Mask of Truth isn't strictly necessary, it can improve your odds of winning, and you can get tons of rupees and a heart piece. At number 15, we've got the All-Night Mask, a mask that prevents its user from falling asleep. It might seem like a counter to some lullaby enemy, but it's actually just another lock and key mask. You wear it in order to stay awake for an old lady's story. When she's done, she gives you a quiz which you can solve for a couple heart pieces. It's pretty cool looking, and easy heart pieces are always good. Up next, at number 14, we've got the Captain's Hat. Wearing this lets you command skeletons who can unlock new areas and help break codes. It also de-aggroes Gibdos and Redeads, so it's a multi-purpose mask. You can also wear it during the boss fight against the Ikana King for an Easter egg. Number 13, Bremen Mask. This mask can let you perform a march, with animals nearby getting in on that action. There's a guy at the ranch who wants to see his chicks grow up before the moon crashes so you can corral them into adulthood. It's kind of funny how you can actually stop the march before it finishes, and any grown roosters will immediately head right back into their mother's basement. I don't entirely blame them since Link canonically saves the world, so really he just wastes these cuckoos' childhoods for no reason. It's kind of fucked up when you think about it. On a lighter note, you can also use this mask for another Easter egg in Ikana. Good stuff. At number 12, we've got Kamaro's Mask. Healing the spirit of a famous dancer will net you a mask that lets you bust out your moves. In a way, it's another Boys Become Men mask, much like the previous one. It's also horribly inappropriate. It is an easy heart piece though. Number 11, Giant's Mask. True to its name, this mask makes you grow to a gargantuan size, maybe even bigger than the last mask does, which is badass. Swinging a massive blade through the air, cleaving an enormous serpent and smashing through debris, it's cool. The reason it's not higher on the list is because you can only use it in one room in the entire game, against the Stone Tower Temple boss. It's still a good mask though. Number 10, Gibdo Mask. The last of the spooky masks, it lets you speak to Gibdos. It's mostly just used for a fetch quest, but if you know what you're doing, it's not too intrusive, and some of these Gibdos say some ridiculous shit, like, "I bear you no remorse." As a spooky mask, it also protects you from Redeads, which put Kamaro to shame with their routine. Number 9, Keaton Mask. This is one of many masks you get from the Anjuin Cafe side quest, and it lets you summon a Keaton who gives you a quiz. You'll have to answer 5 questions which are randomly chosen from a larger selection that test your knowledge on the game's trivia. I like stuff like this since I like learning and remembering details in games, though I'm not a fan of some of the more obscure questions, like how many cow figurines are in Clocktown or how many cuckoos are in the barn or some stupid shit like that. But those are the exception. Most of the questions are pretty solid, and you get a heart piece for answering all 5 questions correctly. Number 8, Great Fairy's Mask. This mask is so useful that you'll want to wear it even if you're not a drag queen. It's the most helpful tool toward tracking down stray fairies in the 4 temples, which come with their own good rewards. The mask will shimmer when a stray fairy is in the room, and as long as they aren't trapped in a bubble or a chest, they'll automatically fly towards you if you wear this mask, instead of in the opposite direction like everybody else would. While it's not technically required to get the stray fairy rewards, I still consider this mask to be extremely useful. Number 7, Stone Mask. This mask is given to you by a relatable fellow who feels like he's invisible because of his plain, boring demeanor, and also because he is invisible. But if you give him a red potion, he gives you the Stone Mask, which you can wear to become invisible yourself. It goes without saying that this is incredibly useful in the dedicated stealth section, but it's not just situational, it actually works on nearly every enemy in the game, and even NPCs. Being invisible is awesome. At number 6, we've got the Bunny Hood. This mask is simple, it just lets you run faster, but it's still a fan favorite. The overworld is a lot more condensed than Ocarina of Time's, but it's still too big for your default movement speed, and the Bunny Hood helps a lot there. It's not as fast as another mask we'll get to later, but it can definitely hold you over in the early game. It's a great mask. Number 5. Blast Mask. This mask lets you blow up your face, which is more fun than it sounds. It's essentially a pocket explosion you can use when you don't have any bombs or don't feel like wasting them, which is helpful in this game since you lose your consumables whenever you reset time. Even if you've got plenty of bombs, the blast mask explosion is instant, which can be useful against certain enemies. It does damage you, but you can negate this by guarding, don't think about it. In my opinion, this is the best non-transformation mask in the game. In number 4, we've got the mask to end all masks, the Fierce Deities mask. You need to collect every other mask in the game just to get it, but it's well worth the effort. The Fierce Deities mask increases your attack power considerably and lets you shoot out flying slashes to shred through enemies. That said, it does have a couple of drawbacks that keep it from the top spot. For starters, the flying slashes cost magic to use, which isn't really a big deal since you can just drink Chateau Romani, but the other drawback is that you can only use it against bosses, and you've already killed most of them by the time you get this mask. That said, you can decimate all 3 phases of the final boss in seconds to the point where it feels more like a cheat code than an in-game upgrade. This mask is incredible. At number 3, we've got the Deku mask. This is Link's first transformation in the game. In Deku form, you can skip across water a limited number of times and launch yourself from Deku flowers to glide short distances. These abilities synergize pretty well to create fun platforming challenges. As far as combat goes, he can spin around to stun most enemies, which is actually pretty overpowered. He can also launch bubbles as his ranged attack, mostly just to hold you over before you get the bow. It does fall a bit short compared to its contemporaries though. When you stack it next to rolling across the land at breakneck speeds or blitzing through the ocean, blowing bubbles and skipping across the water 5 times is nothing special, but by itself it's still a fun mask. Number 2. Goron mask. While the Goron punch is nothing to write home about and the Goron bounce is kinda fun, what really sells this mask is your roll. Gradually gaining momentum before bursting into this explosive speed is so satisfying, and the courses built around it are quite fun. Even the Goron races are pretty entertaining despite the Mario Kart rubber band just because of this ability, and the giant overworld actually becomes fun to traverse because of it. With speed to blast through the earth, strength to toss explosive powder kegs, and the musical dexterity to make this screaming brat shut the fuck up, the Goron mask truly has it all. But it isn't the best mask in the game. The number 1 spot, of course, goes to the Zora mask. Wearing this lets you freely swim underwater, and doing these dolphin leaps is just fun. You also get dual boomerangs, which mostly suck, and an energy shield that makes you invincible and damages nearby enemies at the cost of magic. This mask was so good that the 3DS version had to ruin it to make sure people weren't having too much fun in a Nintendo game, but in the N64 version it's a blast. Anyway, that about covers it. From the downright useless to the insanely fun, that was all 24 dragonfly labias ranked in the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. That's it for this video, I hope you guys enjoyed.